Welcome to the July edition of free PC VR games. 13 new games in total, and there's some surprisingly good games in this batch, so let's get to it. Architect is a puzzle game where there's a tiny silhouette claymation character needing to reach the end goal to every level. But the poor little guy has no idea where to go, so you need to guide the character by placing certain golden objects in correct places so the little character knows where to go. Anything that's golden you can move or manipulate, like moving doors, stairways, elevators, etc. It's a simple premise, but you will find this challenging as you have to search a lot to find the correct objects to put in place. It's visually beautiful with great sound design and music. I highly recommend it. Peanut Putter is a miniature golf game. It comes with a handful of pre-made levels, but even more impressively, it has an in-VR level creator and editor, which allows you to play games for just yourself, or you can publish them online for others to play. I will admit that it's not as polished as some paid miniature golf games, but this is the best free miniature golf game I've ever played. And for in-VR course creation, there's nothing like it. Keep in mind that to navigate the menu on the wall, you need to use the grip button, not the trigger button. That was tripping me up at first. But once you know that, you'll be off for the races. If you're a mini golf fan, check it out. Saber is an open source clone of Beat Saber. It utilizes the same song library as when you mod Beat Saber, but there's no way to download from inside the game. You have to manually download and install the songs yourself. It's a solid start. All it really needs is some sparks, sound effects, and a scorekeeper, and then it's pretty much there. But since it's open source, I'm sure those things will be added sooner or later. Flyingshapes is a free VR CAD design application. I've never used professional CAD software before, so I'm not the best judge of how quality this is or isn't, but it does have a handful of tools and properties for simple building and drawing. Most importantly, it does let you export your projects as 3D files on your desktop to resume your work in other CAD applications. If you enjoy 3D CAD software, then give this a shot and let me know if you like it. Claude Monet, The Water Lily Obsession, is a cinematic sensory journey into the world of Claude Monet, featuring insight into what was behind the inspiration for his paintings. It's quite beautiful, and if you like non-interactive art journeys, then I highly recommend it. Runtime is about 10 minutes.
I want to paint the air around the bridge, the house, the boat, the beauty of the air around them. And it is nigh on impossible.
Shroud. Is it someone in limbo between life and death? Or rather, a dead person who does not yet know it?
Isle of the Dead is another non-interactive cinematic journey, this one inspired by the painting of the same name. You'll be involuntarily drifting the whole time, so be warned if you're prone to motion sickness. I found this pretty cool, and parts of this reminded me of the Inception movie. Runtime is 8 minutes long.
Undulating lines of the sky contribute to the feeling of anxiety that emanates from the painting.
And yet another artwork experience, but unlike the previous two, this one is interactive. The Scream is a spooky experience based off the famous painting. This one was really cool, but there are some pretty disturbing parts in this one. So I recommend this only if you enjoy being spooked out. Let It Rain is an over-the-top crazy action game where you are steering a motorcycle with one hand and trying to shoot down zombies with the other hand, all the while accompanied by heavy metal rock music. The first time I launched the game, it took forever to load. After it finally loads, you can then choose one of 3 levels. I only recommend this if you're completely immune to motion sickness, because the movement is really rapid and the turning is often jerky and sudden. I like the idea of over-the-top crazy action, but the controls do feel pretty bad in this game, so this is only just a soft recommendation. Order Up is a multitasking burger assembly speed challenge. Customers walk up to your little burger stand, they specify the burger they want, and you have to make the correct burger in the right temperature for all the customers. It's not as good as, say, VR The Diner Duo, but for a free game, it's pretty good. Trickster VR Horde Attack is a small wave shooter sample of the larger game Trickster VR. But even though this is just a small wave shooter example of a larger game, it's one of the most highly polished wave shooters I've ever seen. It's obviously based within a fantasy setting, and in between waves you can choose different weapons or equipment.
Beautiful. Up there, a skyship.
This game looks and sounds fantastic. If you're tired of the usual sci-fi themed wave shooter we keep seeing over and over again, then I definitely recommend giving this one a shot.
That's right, get in the zone. Hey, I need some help over here.
Virtual Hero VR is based on a TV series that I've never seen, but the gist of the game is that you're inside a hardcore gamer's bedroom. And while that particular gamer is asleep at his desk, you're free to roam about the room and cause mayhem and chaos. In doing so, you'll come across several mini-games, all of which are based around different video game archetype themes. Like a Mario game, a Flappy Bird game, etc. I found this to be surprisingly well made. It's almost as if the team behind Job Simulator made a video game themed game. If you're into short minigames, then definitely give this one a spin. Spider-Man Far From Home VR is basically a short arcade game, but I found it pretty darn fun, especially because you have so many Spidey abilities. Besides the obvious running and climbing up or down walls, you're able to swing very quickly through the city, which is really the best part of the game. And thankfully, there are comfort options if you're prone to motion sickness. The goal is to stop a giant robot from causing mayhem. To do that, you'll have to use your other web abilities, like bring your hands together to create a wall to slow them down, or fire your web slingers very quickly so that they act like bullets. You'll probably get 20-ish minutes of gameplay out of it, but for a free game, it's super fun.
Got it.
OrbusVR is one of 2 MMORPGs available in VR right now. The other one, of course, being A Township Tale. A Township Tale is currently totally free, whereas OrbusVR normally is a paid game, but you can now play this up to level 10 for free. There is an absolute ton of content in this game. It's pretty overwhelming at first, but you'll eventually get the hang of it. If you love these kinds of games, definitely try this one. And do let me know if you prefer this or A Township Tale better. Well, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. See ya!